Alright guys, DST James RC. Spring has sprung. Probably not really. In northeastern Ohio. And I just got the X-Maxx put back together. So I figured I'd get some footage of the X-Maxx running right now. The pinion did come loose already, which I'm like a constant struggle with. And you know, I Loctited it, left it for a couple of days and everything, but it just, I don't know, welded on there maybe. But I took it apart. I had to do some work on the center diff. The screws had just backed out a little bit. It wasn't enough Loctite on those. So I Loctited the screws on the center diff, filled it back up with 20 million fluid. Brought it out here to run it. Brought it out here in the parking lot to run it. And one of the little pins in the front axle came loose. So it basically put the truck to rear wheel drive. And not so wisely, I kept driving it because I was like, I'm all the way out here. I want to drive this truck, rear wheel drive, and so it didn't last very long before it blew out that 11 tooth pinion, the pinions that go, both pinions that go in the front and rear diffs. They connect the drive shaft to the diffs. So that thing just exploded. So I was back on the wait list for parts. I had to order or go. I got some from the local hobby store. I think I got one of the axle end there, but I had to order the little pin. Anyway, rebuilt that axle. Oh, and so when that 11 tooth pinion went out, it kind of wore down the rear diff gear enough to where I thought it needed replaced too. So replace that, build the diff up with fluid. So whoa, so this should, man, why did I do that? Tried to backflip off that fence and I'm sure it would work, but I know I already said in one of my other videos, the first day I got this body, I was trying to speed up here a little bit just to like bank on these turns, and I hit this fence and ran the truck like halfway under it, and it just mashed the body all up. Not mashed it up, but like, you know, brand new body, and I'm getting it stuck under a fence, and then kind of learning what I can do on this spot where there's a couple jumps over there that will just flip your truck like end over end, and it's kind of hard to see. There's some that are perfectly fine, and then there's most of this hill will like send you some soft jumps up, but there's one of them going this way and going back that way. I'm gonna have to move so the sun's not in your guys' eyes. YouTube verse. But I want this X-Maxx to last more than like one battery pack. That last one was my bad. When that little axle pin fell out, I definitely should have just stopped running. I should have just stopped running, took the truck home, but I was like, man, I'm all the way out here. Rear wheel drive's probably okay. Nope, it was not okay. I think this is just too powerful. There's too much strain. There's just too much strain on this to run rear wheel drive at all. And guys, I have the traction control set very minimum. The traction stability very minimum, because I mean, while the X-Maxx will roll, it's not like roll over happy really. Because I was trying to just get And again, guys, I don't really think there's anybody over here to like, I wouldn't want to like mess this all up, but I don't really think there's anybody over here. They're kind of letting it go anyway, so. Guys, I did notice when I was driving the X-Maxx before, I noticed the screws were in the center diff were backing out, because the front tires were ballooning like a little more than I noticed before. And I'm like, those front tires were really ballooning a lot. So I put off taking the truck apart, because to get to that center diff, if you worked on an X-Maxx before, you know, to get to the center diff, it's kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain. You pretty much got to take the whole back end of the truck apart to get to that center diff. I got all steel upgraded gears, Robinson Racing pinion and hot racing spur. This is $18.50, and I don't really think I have to keep an eye on motor temps really. It's about 50 degrees out here. And I've read plenty of I've read people run 2050, 1850 on the stock electronics. My X-Maxx pretty much like almost entirely stock. I just have the Sen Racing hinge pins in the back. Keep those hinge pins together. I have the Sledgehammer tires in that nice orange. I think that's it. It's funny because while this truck for me has not been that reliable, it's kind of been the same thing. The truck has been mostly in one piece, and it's been mostly the gears and the diffs that I've ever had issues with. All the arms, never broken arm. I have broken the bumper supports. I think I have a couple of these bumper supports now that are broken. But guys, knock on wood, the pinion has not come loose again. And the good thing about these kind of steel ones is if the pinion comes loose, the hardened steel, just stop the truck right away. And your gears shouldn't be too heavily damaged. With the stock ones, if that comes loose, your odds of completely stripping out both gears are pretty good. You'll have teeth missing and stuff from both gears, and it will just not be a good time. But guys, I don't need my X-Maxx any faster than this. Thing will wheelie at any speed, pretty much. Oh man, see that flip? That wasn't intentional, but I'll take it. That's kind of what I watch for when I'm driving the X-Maxx. I watch for the tires ballooning, and obviously if it starts clicking, clacking, making some god awful noise, which it does when it's related to the gears, that's what I'll watch for. But if I notice the tires ballooning any weird way, and like, oh, there's low cutoff, guys. I drove this before I filmed all of it. So I hope you enjoyed the X-Maxx, a little bit of the X-Maxx driving out here on this super, super nice 50-degree day in February. But and I just wanted to say that I really appreciate everyone watching, and I've had some like feedback comments lately, people watching the videos and then kind of giving pointers and like just what, you know, the things they see that they feel could be better. And I really appreciate that. Like, I really appreciate that constructive criticism. I'm trying to drive RCs and be entertaining. That's all. That's it. That's all we're trying to do here. So I appreciate it, guys. Take care.